Whether this is your first one or you're looking to upgrade, if you're thinking about getting a raised garden bed, you do not want to miss this video. Let's take a quick look at the newest addition to the Big Stacks family garden. Filling a raised garden bed can get quite expensive, but I found a way to fill my 17-inch raised garden bed completely full at very little cost. Nice finished look. And it's better than any other method I've found out there.
We're the local ladies garden club. What are you doing on our turf?
In fact, I'm going to show you how I fill my raised garden bed and will spend absolutely no money at all. This method is thousands of years old and it's still used by gardeners today. Welcome to Big Stacks Small Workshop. I promise to answer all your big questions about this gardening method here shortly. But first, let's take a quick look at the newest addition to the Big Stacks family garden. This new raised bed is going to replace an existing bed I already have. So the most important thing is to save the good garden soil I already have in the bed. Now it's time to get this old garden bed out of the way. I received a modular raised garden bed in the mail from a company called Vegega. At first I was a bit skeptical because the package was quite small. It kind of reminded me of the tracks from a model train. There were 4 curved pieces for the ends and 4 straight pieces for the sides. Each piece was covered by a sheet of protective plastic. It looked like these pieces are covered with something similar to a powder coating. Vegega calls it an anti-rust paint layer, which according to their website is USDA food safe. The pieces could be assembled in a few different layouts, but since I was replacing an existing long raised bed, I decided to go with this one. Alright, enough jibber jabber. Let's go ahead and get this thing put together so I can show you not only the best, but also a very inexpensive way you can fill a raised bed. It went together real easy with nuts and bolts. Since it comes with its own little tiny wrench, all you really need is a Phillips screwdriver to help snug everything up. You don't have to be a master craftsman to get this thing together. It's really just a handful of nuts and bolts. And assembly should only take about a half hour or so. The Vegega bed comes with a little gasket to cover the exposed top edge of the steel walls. It's most likely to save yourself from injuries, but it should also keep it from getting dinged up. Plus, it leaves everything with a nice, finished look. So let's talk for a moment about how to fill this thing. I mean, if you wanted to, you could just go out and buy dirt and completely fill the whole thing up with dirt. It's going to take you about 27 bags of dirt to completely fill this raised bed up with soil. That's about $250 I'd like to spend elsewhere in my garden. To save this money and reach my goal of spending $0 to fill this bed, we're going to explore the idea of Hugelkultur. Hugelkultur was invented in low-lying areas of Germany many years ago as a way to farm crops in areas with poor water drainage. It involved building layers of natural material which would break down over time and create a super soil from decaying matter. The other bonus is it would elevate your crops to the point where they wouldn't sit in water and rot out the plant's foundations. A bed of logs was topped with sticks, then plant waste, which was topped by compost and finally finished off with a layer of good soil. I'm going to show you how to do the exact same thing in your raised beds at home. After I got the new bed in place, I cut some cardboard to shape and placed it in the bottom of the planter. The cardboard is great for blocking weeds that may try to pop up from the ground and invade your new garden. I went and grabbed some firewood to put in the very bottom of my bed. The firewood is a very inexpensive filler for my first layer, but more importantly, it will break down over the next few years and become a home to beneficial bacteria and nutrients for my plants. For my 17-inch raised bed, a single layer should work great. Next, we're going to put some sticks on top of the firewood. Since I don't currently have a lot of sticks lying around, I ventured through the neighborhood to see if anyone had put out some for trash pickup. Remember, my goal is to spend $0 filling the raised bed. So while driving around, I found some sticks in front of a house just around the block. But that is where my troubles started. Check this out.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
Oh, hi, I'm a YouTuber. I'm just here teaching people how to do raised bed gardens and gathering some sticks for...
I don't care who you are. This is the Green Thumb Society.
We're the local ladies' garden club. What are you doing on our turf?
Didn't you see the flag marking our territory?
Any sticks you find here go to our compost pile.
It was all just a misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding my arse.
We're giving you 10 seconds to vacate this area, or we'll plant you in our compost pile for our very best prime rose bushes.
And now you know the secret of our prize-winning roses.
Considering myself lucky for getting away safely, I went far off the beaten path and found a vacant lot with plenty of old sticks lying around. After gathering the sticks up, I put them in the bed of my truck and went back home. Then I placed them in my raised bed and packed them in good by first jumping on them, thereby completing my second layer of Hugelkultur. If you're enjoying this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, give it a thumbs up, so YouTube can share this video with more makers and gardeners just like you. My next door neighbor was kind enough to save all his grass clippings and bag them up for me. He left 6 whole bags filled with grass clippings on his curb, but I think 1 bag ought to do it for me. I left the remaining bags as tribute to the Green Thumb Society, just to avoid any future conflicts. You could use any type of yard waste. Just be sure not to use plants which have been exposed to any types of diseases. I'm not as nimble as I used to be, so to avoid busting my butt and getting an ankle injury, I use a sledgehammer to finish the job. Next, I took some leftover bags of compost and filled my raised bed even more. The kind I had left over was composted cow manure and mushroom compost. From the smell which slowly spread over my entire yard, I'm guessing there was plenty of nutrients left in the compost from last year. For the final step of Hugelkultur, I took the garden soil from the old raised bed and put it on top. I'm really pleased with this raised bed so far, and I'm even more pleased I was able to fill it with no extra expense to my budget. I really haven't decided what to plant in this bed, but I'm confident it's going to leave plenty of room for good root growth. I'm looking forward to harvesting something delicious from it later this year. As for the ladies of the Green Thumb Society, let's just say word of my tribute got around, and, well, we've reached a resolution that will benefit everyone involved.